Inner resilience isn't built in calm seasons. It's built in the moments that were supposed to break you. The nights you couldn't think straight. The days everything collapsed at once. The moments you were forced to stand alone with nothing but your own mind holding you together. Resilience isn't about looking strong. It's about refusing to fold when every part of you wants to escape. It's the quiet decision to stay centered while pressure tries to pull you apart. It's the discipline to breathe through chaos instead of letting it own you. Most people crumble because they think resilience is a feeling. It's not. It's a stance, a posture, a choice, a way of holding yourself when life pushes against you with full force. You don't build resilience by avoiding discomfort. You build it by meeting discomfort with stillness, clarity, and control. Let's break down what resilience actually is, how pressure shapes you, and how to build a mind that stays unshakable under any storm. Resilience isn't pretending you're fine. It's knowing exactly how much pressure you can take without losing yourself. Most people fake strength because they're terrified of being seen cracking. But resilience isn't about hiding the cracks. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't break in the first place. You build real resilience when life forces you to confront the parts of yourself you normally run from. Because pressure exposes everything. Your unhealed wounds, your weak habits, your emotional triggers, your lack of discipline, your dependence on comfort. Pressure shows you who you really are when the mask falls off. Here's the truth most won't accept. You don't rise to your potential under stress. You fall to your level of preparation. If your inner world is chaotic, pressure amplifies that chaos. If your identity is fragile, pressure fractures it. If your emotions lead you, pressure drags you into panic. Everyone looks stable in peace. Everyone looks disciplined with no distractions. Everyone looks composed when nothing is at risk. Resilience is revealed when life stops cooperating, and this is where most people fail. They confuse emotional suppression with emotional strength. Holding everything inside until you explode isn't resilience. It's avoidance. Numbing your feelings isn't strength. It's fragility wearing armor made of denial. Real resilience comes from holding your internal state steady when everything external is unstable. It's the ability to feel fear without obeying it, to feel pressure without collapsing, to feel uncertainty without scrambling for escape. Resilience is nervous system discipline, the capacity to stay grounded while the storm pounds on the door. And when you understand this, you stop chasing the illusion of strength the world sells you and start building the kind of inner stability that doesn't need to be performed. Because resilience isn't loud, it's not dramatic, it doesn't flex, it just stands, calm, present, unmoved. That's the foundation every strong identity is built on. The part of you that pressure can't buy, break, or bend. Pressure is not your enemy. It's the forge that shapes you. Every moment you thought would destroy you was actually refining you. Not because the pain was noble, but because your response to it created strength you couldn't build any other way. Here's the truth. Pressure is a sculptor. It chips away the weakness you cling to. It exposes the habits that can't survive your next level. It strips you of every excuse you built your comfort around. Nothing reveals your internal architecture faster than adversity. Pressure forces you to drop the parts of you that were only useful when life was easy. The impatience, the emotional reactivity, the need for control, the desire for comfort, the craving for reassurance. All of it burns off under heat. You don't become unshakable because you avoid storms. You become unshakable because you walk through storms that should have shattered you and found your center anyway. Pressure teaches you how to breathe when your world tightens, how to think clearly when emotions flare, how to stay grounded when everything around you shakes, how to respond instead of react, how to endure without folding inward. This is where identity is formed, inside the friction, inside the discomfort, inside the moments you refuse to run. Because every challenge carries a choice: collapse into the old you, or rise into the person you've been trying to become. Most people misunderstand pain. They think it's punishment, but pressure is training. It's the gym for your mind, The weight you lift without your hands, the resistance that builds psychological muscle. Every time you hold your center in chaos, your nervous system adapts. Calm becomes your baseline, composure becomes your instinct, stillness becomes your weapon, and slowly pressure stops feeling like a threat. It starts feeling like familiar ground. When you stop running from difficulty, something shifts. You realize pressure isn't breaking you. It is revealing the version of you that was buried under your old comfort. This is why the strongest people don't fear hard seasons. Hard seasons are where they were born. Hard seasons are where they rebuild. Hard seasons are where their identity sharpened itself into something that doesn't fold under tension. Pressure doesn't ruin you. It refines you. It burns off the excess. It hardens your foundation, and it hands you a level of internal strength no comfort zone could ever give you. You don't become unshakable by hoping for strength. You become unshakable by designing a life that forces strength to grow. Resilience isn't built in a single breakthrough. It's built through structure, standards, and self-respect, repeated every day until your nervous system adapts to pressure instead of collapsing under it. Here's the blueprint. 1. You build resilience by mastering your internal state. Calm isn't a mood, it's a skill. You train it through silence, stillness, controlled breathing, and refusing to let emotions hijack your judgment. When you control your internal world, the external one loses its power over you. 2. You build resilience by embracing discomfort on purpose. Comfort makes you fragile. Pressure makes you sharp. Daily discipline, cold showers, deep work blocks, hard conversations, physical training teaches your body and mind that discomfort isn't danger, it's growth. 3. You build resilience by eliminating emotional volatility. Don't react fast. Don't respond from panic. Don't feed anxiety with overthinking. Pause, observe, choose. That gap between trigger and response is where inner strength is forged. 4. You build resilience by holding yourself to a higher identity. If you see yourself as fragile, you'll fold. If you see yourself as grounded, you'll stand. Identity dictates behavior. Upgrade how you view yourself, and pressure becomes something you handle, not something you fear. 5. You build resilience through structure and discipline. Weak habits create weak minds. Routine builds psychological armor. Wake times, training blocks, silence periods, work cycles, these aren't chores. They are the architecture that supports mental toughness. 6. You build resilience by removing chaos from your environment. Your surroundings either drain you or harden you. Cut noise, cut overstimulation, cut people who trigger instability. Your environment must reinforce the strength you're building, not sabotage it. 7. You build resilience by facing reality without emotional distortion. See things as they are, not as your anxiety paints them. Resilience comes from clarity, not illusions. A grounded mind can't be manipulated by fear. 8. You build resilience by choosing long-term strength over short-term comfort. Every choice either fortifies you or weakens you. You become unshakable when you consistently choose the option that serves your future instead of your impulses. 9. You build resilience by refusing to fold when pressure rises. You don't have to feel fearless. You just have to stand still long enough for fear to lose its grip. Holding your center is the real flex. This is how you become unshakable. You train your mind to stay calm, your body to stay disciplined, your identity to stay grounded, and your presence to stay immovable. Strength isn't something you find. It's something you build brick by brick, choice by choice, moment by moment. When you follow this blueprint, pressure stops being a threat and becomes the exact thing that strengthens you. If you're serious about building real resilience, stop waiting for life to get easier. Build the inner structure that can handle whatever hits next. And if you want to go deeper into the psychology behind fear, pressure, and emotional endurance, get the audiobook of Surviving the Toxic Bond. If you like to study while you listen, grab the ebook alongside it. The download link is in my bio. If this sharpened your mindset, like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, and share it. Help someone else build the strength you're building. Stay centered, stay grounded, protect your peace.